Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Jessica Mahoney, and today we'll be doing a reading from The Hobbit. No, sorry, it's not The Hobbit, it's The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. So we're just going to pick up where we left off. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. We're going to read. Was literally trying to find where I had left off, or actually begun.
Bilbo and
So here
Gandalf were
goes.
sitting at the open window in a small room looking out west on the garden. The late afternoon was bright and peaceful. The flowers glowed
and honestly
red
a
and
little
golden.
bit too serious,
Snapdragons and
but
sunflowers
it gets smoother towards
and
the end.
Inside Bag End, Bilbo and Gandalf were sitting at the open window of a small room looking out west on the garden. The late afternoon was bright and peaceful. Let me just move this because it's my book marker. Anyway, where were we? Flowers glowed red and golden, snapdragons and sunflowers and nasturtiums trailing over the turf walls and peeping in the round windows. "How bright your garden looks," said Gandalf. "Yes," said Bilbo, "I'm very fond indeed of it, and of all the deer and old Shire. But I think I need a holiday." Let's move that again. "But I think I need a holiday. Do you mean to go on with your plan then?" "I do. I made up my mind months ago, and I haven't changed it." "Very well. It's no good saying any more. Stick to your plan, the whole plan, mind, and I hope it will turn out for the best for you and for all of us." "I hope so. Anyway, I mean to enjoy myself on Thursday and have my little joke." "Who will laugh, I wonder?" said Gandalf, shaking his head. "We shall see," said Bilbo. The next day, more carts rolled up the... The next day... Ooh, should I stop? The next day, more carts rolled up the hill, and still more carts. There might have been some grumbling about dealing locally, but that very week orders began to pour out of Bag End for every kind of provision, commodity, or luxury that could be obtained in Hobbiton or Bayswater or anywhere in the neighbourhood. People became enthusiastic, and they began to tick off the days on the calendar, and they watched eagerly for the postman, hoping for invitations. Before the long invitations began pouring out, and the Hobbiton post office was blocked, the Bayswater post office was snowed under, and the voluntary assistant postmen were called for. There was a constant stream of them going up the hill, carrying hundreds of polite invitations on "Thank you, I shall certainly come." A notice appeared on the gate at Bag End: "No admittance except on party basis." Even those who had or pretended to have business were seldom allowed inside. Bilbo was busy writing invitations, ticking off answers, packing up presents, and making some private preparations of his own. From the time of Gandalf's arrival, he remained hidden from view. On the morning the hobbits woke to find the large field south of Bilbo's front door, covered with ropes and poles for tents and pavilions. A special entrance that was cut into the bank were built there. A special entrance was cut into the bank leading to the road. Wide steps and large white gate were built there. The 3 hobbit families of Backshot Row, adjoining the field, were intensely interested and generally envied. The old gaffer, Gamgee, stopped even pretending to work in his garden. The tents began to go up. There was especially a large pavilion so big that the tree that grew in the field was right inside it and stood proudly near the end and the head of the chief table. Lanterns were hung on all its branches, more promising still to the hobbit's mind. An enormous open-air kitchen was erected on the north corner of the field. A draught of hooks from every inn and eating house for miles around arrived supplement the dwarfs and other odd folk that were quartered at Bag End. Excitement rose to its height. Then the weather clouded over. That was on Wednesday, the eve of the party. Anxiety was intense. Then Thursday, September the 22nd, actually dawned. The sun got up, the clouds vanished, flags were unfurled, and the fun began. Bilbo Baggins called it a party, but it was really a variety of entertainments rolled into one. Practically everybody living near was invited. A very few were overlooked by accident. Okay, I think we're going to end there today. And okay, it's only but as they turned up all the same, that did not matter. Many people from other parts of the Shire were also asked, and there were even a few from inside the borders. Bilbo met the guests and additions to the new White Gate in person. He gave away presents to all the sundry. The latter were those who went out again by a back way and came in again by the gate. Hobbits gave presents to other people on their own birthdays, not very expensive ones as a rule, and not very expensive ones so as a rule, and not so lavishly on this occasion. But it was not a bad system. Actually, in Hobbiton and Bayweather, every day in the year was someone's birthday, so that every hobbit in those parts had a fair change of at least one present and at least 1 week. But they never got tired of them. On this occasion, the presents were usually good. The hobbit children were excited for that. The hobbit children were so excited that for a while they almost forgot about eating. There were toys like that of which they had never seen before, all beautiful and some obviously magical. Many of them had indeed been ordered a year before and had come all the way from the mountain and from Dale, and were real dwarf make. When every guest had been welcomed and was finally inside the gate, there were songs, dances, music, games, and of course food and drink. There were 3 official meals: lunch, tea, and dinner or supper. But lunch and tea were marked chiefly by the fact that those times all the guests were sitting down and eating together. At other times were merely lots of people eating and drinking continuously from 11 until 60:30 when the fireworks started. The fireworks were by Gandalf. They were not only brought by him, but designed and made by him, and the special effects, set pieces, and flights of rockets were let off by him. But there was also a generous distribution of squibs, crackers, baccaracas, Yes. Yeah, no. Just sit like this. But there was also a generous distribution of squibs, crackers, baccarappas, sparklers, torches, dwarf-like candles, elf fountains, goblin barkers, and thunderclaps. They were all superb, the art of Gandalf improved with age. There were rockets like a flight of scintillating. I'm quite sure it's scintillating. There were rockets like a flight of scintillating birds singing with sweet voices, and there were green trees with trunks of dark smoke. The leaves opened like a whole spring unfolding in a moment, and their shining branches dropped glowing flowers down upon the astonished hobbits, disappearing with a sweet scent before they touched their upturned faces. There were fountains of butterflies that flew glittering into the trees. There were pillars of coloured fires that rose and turned into eagles or sailing ships or phalanx of flying swans. There was red thunderstorm and shower of yellow rain. There was forest of silver spears that sprung suddenly into the air with a yell like an embattled army and came down into the water with a hiss like 100 hot snakes. And there was also one last surprise, in honor of Bilbo. In honor of Bilbo, and it startled the hobbits exceedingly. As Gandalf intended, the lights went out, a great smoke went up, it shaped itself like a mountain seen on the distance and began to glow at the summit. It spouted green and scarlet flames. Out flew a red golden dragon, not life-size, but terribly lifelike. Fire came from his jaws, and his eyes glared down. There was a roar, and he wheezed 3 times over the heads of the crowd. They were all ducked, and many fell flat on their faces. The dragon passed like an express train, turned a somersault, and burst over Baywater with deafening explosion. "That is the signal for supper," said Bilbo. The pain and the alarm vanished at once, and the prostrate hobbits leaped onto their feet. There was a splendid supper for everyone, that is, except those invited to the special family dinner party. This was held at the great pavilion with the tree. The invitations were limited to 12 dozen, a number also called by the hobbits 1 gross. Though the word was not considered proper to use of people, and the guests were selected from all the families which Bilbo and Frodo were related, with the addition of a few special unrelated friends such as Gandalf. Many young hobbits were included, and the present by parental permission, for hobbits were easygoing with their children, and the matter of sitting up late, especially when there was a chance of getting them a free meal, bringing up young hobbits took a lot of provender. Okay, guys, so I think we're going to call it a day or a night, or whatever time it is that you're watching this. And we're going to continue soon. And for now, I'll see you soon. Okay, ciao.